7 ways to self-love. Please, this is good stuff. Write this down. This is fresh from manna of heaven. Number 1, self-love is a result of self-discovery. I need another seminar to teach that all by itself. You got to discover yourself first or you'll never love yourself. Number 2, self-love is a result of self-source. What I mean by that is you have to discover where yourself was sourced. Where did you come from? You cannot love yourself if you don't know where you came from. Because source determines value. Oh boy. In other words, if I took a piece of rock and I cut it in half, does it become anything else? No, it's just a piece of a rock again. And if I cut it again, what it becomes? A piece of rock again. In other words, whatever it was originally, no matter how I break it down, that's what it is. So if I took a diamond and I cut it in half, what I get? 2 diamonds. Cut it again, I got what? 4 diamonds. So now, you see, it maintains the value. So if you don't know your source, you don't know your value. Number 3, self-love is a result of self-worth. You can never give yourself worth if you don't know where you came from. And you can't know where you came from if you don't discover yourself and discover your source. In other words, you are suffering from other people's value of you. And that's why you need them to keep giving you value. Or sometimes we create value out of the things we collect. That's why the fashion industry controls your life and you're broke and depressed. Because you keep trying to buy things to give yourself value because you ain't know how much you're worth. This is why you collect cars with big names and dresses with fancy, brand names and shoes with brand names, and you want to live in a certain area. Why? Because that whole thing has to do with a lack of self-love. You need to collect things to give yourself value. That's why when you lose them, you really go crazy. Self-worth. Number 4, self-love is a result of self-esteem. Esteem means how much do you estimate you cost or worth? What is your estimate of your value? And some people, it is so low, they sell themselves on the street. It's called prostitution. Sometimes they sell themselves sophisticatedly in their jobs. Or even sell themselves in a relationship that they know they shouldn't go that low, but they don't have any estimation of their true value, and so they sell themselves cheap on the altar of compromise just to have company around them. What a tragedy. You shouldn't marry anybody to make you feel important. Forget it. Self-love is a result of self-esteem. When you realize how much you are worth, you fall in love with yourself. Let me give you an example. If I gave you a plastic ring out of a Cracker Jack box, and then gave you a $10,000 diamond ring, and gave you both of them, which one would you really love the most? Isn't that amazing? Which one would you want to know where it is all the time? You don't care where the plastic ring is. Which one do you put in a nice leather pouch, and you put it in a private place, maybe in a safe deposit here? I mean, the plastic. See, self-estimation makes you treat yourself with leather pouch experience. Don't touch this. I just can't go anywhere. I am diamond. This ain't plastic. I can't be seen just with anybody. Come on, y'all talk to me, man. See, but it has to do with your self-esteem. Self-love. That's why Christ says that's the most important love on earth. Not the love for your neighbor. And number 5, self-love is a result of self-concept. Concept has to do with picture. The word concept means idea or picture. How do you picture yourself determines how you treat yourself. And that picture comes from your discovery of where you came from. A diamond is a diamond is a diamond. You ever heard that? And they say a rose is a rose is a rose. In other words, once the thing is it, that's what it is. And so your picture of yourself doesn't come from other people, but we keep getting it from them. Oh, you look nice. Well, listen, I don't need you to tell me I look nice. I told myself that this morning before I left. And if you never told me, I still know I look nice because I'm cool, man. This is me. I love myself. You understand me? See, self-concept, you don't walk around allowing people to paint you how you should feel about yourself. You're supposed to know who you are. You know, I was thinking tonight when I was preparing to come to talk, I said, you know, Jesus Christ would not have gotten along well with most of us. He was opposite to what my mother and father taught me in this same island when I was a little boy. They said, son, never talk about yourself. And I think that came from the British oppression, colonialism, where we were taught that we were nothing, you know. So my mom was they referred to, boy, stop talking about yourself. Stop talking about yourself. Boy, you know, be considerate and stop talking about yourself. Now you see, that may sound nice, but that's stupid. That's what causes low self-esteem. When your child says, well, mommy, I'm good at this. Boy, don't say you're good, you know. No, stop that. Stop, you know, talking big about yourself. And they will correct you from feeling good about yourself. Now, here comes Jesus. He would not get along with us. Every day, all day, the guy was into himself. He had a picture of himself that was almost irritating. And it was irritating. That's why the Pharisees, who had low self-esteem, attacked him all the time. Because he kept using this word. I. And that's the way my mother said, you never use that word, son. Stop saying I. Remember that? Some of you all grew up with that. I. His I was constant. I am the bread of life. I am the water of life. I am the door. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the resurrection. I am the sheep gate. I am the way. I am the life. I am the bread. I am the water. I am the resurrection. I. Brother, you a lot of I. Yes, I am. That's why I don't need your opinion to tell me who I am. Now, here's what mesmerized me about Jesus. Write this down. I never, this changed my life at 18. I wrote it down at 18. He never spoke negative about himself. Number two, he never accepted anybody's opinion of himself. Because when you have a sense of self-concept, your own picture, that other people's opinion don't touch you. Their perception don't touch you. You got to be very important to be able to say to yourself, I am. If you don't know who you are, we'll tell you who you should be. And there's your problem. Have you ever seen people do this? One of the signs of self-hatred is when you take people shopping with you all the time. Oh, I'm in trouble now, see. But I'm going to say it. See, you say, let's go shopping. Okay, we go shopping. I ain't got no problem with that. That part is okay. You know, you want friends, that's fine. But when you go to a store and you put on something that you like, and then you come out of the dressing room and say, what do you think? And she says, you go take it off. Now, that's stupid. That is crazy. If you like it, honey, this is my body. Forget what you think. I love me. I like this. Clap, clap, clap. Praise God. But that's a sign of self-hatred, see? Why? You want to dress to please the person. It's a sign of self-hatred. And I know I have seen some things that people wore that other people liked, but it didn't look good on them. I've seen some things. I told my wife sometime, she didn't see herself leaving the house today. I know that. No one would come out of the house looking like that. But they were dressed for other people. Self-hatred. Number 6, self-love is a result of self-identity. When you know who you are, you fall in love with yourself. Number 7, self-love is a result of self-value. How much do you value yourself? That gives you your love for yourself. If you believe you are valuable, you fall in love with yourself. Just like that ring that's diamond or plastic. So discovery of your identity determines your attitude toward yourself, and that determines the measure of love of yourself, and that determines how much you can love me. I think this is a very important night because we've been asking people the wrong questions. You should never ask someone, do you love me? That's the wrong question first. First question, but excuse me, do you love you? That never is asked. And that is the question. And if they are shocked by the question, leave fast, because right away you know they don't even know what you're talking about. See? This is why marriages don't work. People go into marriage looking for love. You don't go to marriage looking for love. You go to marriage because you already love yourself and you want to share that with someone else. That's all. You ain't looking for none. You got it already. It's very important. And number 7, self-value. And here's some point I want to make here. Self-love is the source of true singleness. I think you're feeling it already. That's why I always tell people, you ain't single yet. Singleness is the most important relationship in the world. Because singleness is being totally in love with yourself first. Singleness means that you love yourself so much, if no one loves you, you're still happy. Singleness means that your best friend is yourself. You can spend all day with yourself and take yourself out for dinner. Oh, come on, I feel like shouting all by myself. And believe me, I could do it all the time. Even as a married man, take myself for dinner and order stuff for myself. Love myself. That's why my wife is so safe, because I love myself. I won't say that too deep. Okay.